Welcome back. We're glad you're here. In the previous overview video, we talked about how Nubeva is software that enables security tools and teams to see deeper and wider into their data center, cloud, and application computing environment. Nubeva gives you access and decrypted visibility to your container, Kubernetes, VM traffic, whether those are in public clouds, private clouds, or data centers. In this video, we'll focus on familiarizing you with Nubeva Cloud tools. Let's take a look. Remember, as you start setting up your system, the Getting Started screen will be replaced with a topology map of your solution. But you can always access this guide by clicking on Help and then Getting Started. Please note that you're currently in the SaaS management system for Nubeva. There is also a private Kubernetes-based controller. If you're interested in the private Enterprise Edition, please contact your account manager directly. As you look at the system, keep in mind, Nubeva is all about getting traffic from source workloads, like VMs and containers, over to destinations, like Nubeva Cloud Security Tools, in a way that ensures those tools have complete decrypted visibility to the full packet traffic. As you work with Nubeva, remember that the convention we use is getting and processing traffic from sources to destinations via these connections. Looking at the main dashboard, you see these same conventions used: source groups, connections, and destinations, along with the buttons to create and manage each of those. Moving up, the main menu gives you access for reporting, where you can manage all of your sensors, decryptors, and access help and documentation. At the very top, you have the ability to create projects, which is useful in managing large systems and keeping regions separate, as well as managing different domains of inspection. There's more detail on projects in the documentation. Finally, at the top right, you'll see your Accounts menu, where you manage your subscription and account information. This is where you go if you ever wish to terminate your account. This video is all about setting up Nubeva Cloud tools. We created this open source tool set as a reference to help people get started with the monitoring and inspection of network traffic in the cloud. In partnership with AWS, we've created a set of state-of-the-art, well-architected CloudFormation templates that launch fully scalable, ready and working open source security and monitoring tools in AWS. The tools included in this set are Wireshark, Suricata, Intop, Moloch, and Zeek. These are designed to work with or without Nubeva. Nubeva TLS Decrypt is pre-integrated in the default options of the CloudFormation templates. But see the template themselves if you'd like more information on how to deploy these without Nubeva into your AWS account. To launch these tools, you simply click on the tool icon in the Destinations block, and this will bring up the Cloud Tools Launcher. We are always adding new cloud environments and features, so please register and follow us to stay connected. Make sure you copy your token, and then let's walk through the CloudFormation template in AWS. Go ahead and launch the tool, and then this will take you to the AWS console to the CloudFormation stack creation. Let's take a look at this in greater detail. First, at the top, you can see the exact template that we are using to launch this CloudFormation template. If you'd like to review this on your own, this is where you can find not only this template, but all the nested templates included as well. The stack name has already been defined for you, but you can change that to anything that you would like. For the Nubeva token, this is the actual token from your Nubeva Prisms account. So you simply go back to the Nubeva homepage, click on Launch a Sensor, and at the very bottom of this box, you will see your complete new token. Go ahead and copy that, and we're going to paste that right back into our CloudFormation template. This will ensure that if you're installing clients, that they connect to the correct backend, as well as the same for the Nubeva decryptors. This will ensure that all the software works automatically and TLS decryption happens. The next 5 entries allow you to choose which tool you wish to install. If there's a tool you don't wish, just simply change it to false and it will not be installed. Also select if you wish to install the clients. The next two entries ask for a password and username for the administration account that'll be provisioned on the tools. Go ahead and provide a password. For this, you do need to use capitals, lowercase, numbers, and special characters. For the network configuration, because we're setting up a new VPC, these settings are all the required settings from the AWS VPC Quick Start. Simply select a pair of availability zones. You must select 2, but you could select more. The CIDR blocks for the subnets and the VPC have already been configured, but you can change these if you wish. One of the most critical things you can configure for this CloudFormation template is the remote access CIDR block. This is the range of IP addresses that are allowed to connect to your tool farm. This can be changed later. You should never set this to a quad 0. Next, you're going to have to choose your SSH key name. This is the key used for all SSH access to all servers and tools that are configured as part of this quick start. You can change the size of the instance you wish to launch, though the minimum is an M5 large, and that's what we're going to use here. Select the desired number of tools. This must be at least 2, though the maximum could be anything. Finally, these last values, you should probably leave those alone. The AWS Quick Start configuration does need to remain the same, but if you prefer different settings for your bastion, go ahead and select those as you would. Finally, you must check the 2 boxes at the bottom, and then simply click Create Stack. So this is going to go ahead and create the Nubeva Cloud Tools stack. This takes about 30 minutes. What you're going to see is there's going to be several sub-CloudFormation templates that are created as part of this process. Those will be setting up the VPC, the bastion, the Nubeva stack, as well as each individual tool that you set up all have their own CloudFormation templates. We're going to come back in a bit once we've seen some progress here. And as you can see, the Nubeva Cloud tools have now finished installing. As you can see, it says Create Complete. You'll notice on the left-hand side, you see all of the individual stacks are listed. Here you see the Suricata stack, the Wireshark stack, the Zeek stack, the Moloch stack, for the client, Intop, as well as all the rest of the nested stacks. One thing I want to point out is if you want to see how to connect to this, how do I get to use, for instance, Suricata, click on the individual stack and then simply look at the output link. First, that will show you where the documentation is, and it will also provide the complete link for the URL for the Suricata dashboard. Now, remember, none of these are accessible directly from the internet. However, you can connect to them from any sort of direct connect or simply set up any types of reverse proxies or other sort of access to gain direct access to these internal resources. And here's my instances screen for the region where we've installed our Nubeva Cloud tools, which is US East 2. So first, you'll notice the very top is the Linux Bastion host. Remember, as I said, this is the only element of this entire template that's reachable directly from the internet. From here, you can access all of the rest of these internal devices should you need to make any changes or additions. As you'll notice, every individual tool has 2 instances. Everything has been built in a well-architected auto-scaling group environment. You'll notice all the individual auto-scaling groups have been created for every tool. You can also see that load balancers have been created for each and every open source tool as well. I had mentioned that we're also using many AWS native components. One of those is the AWS Elasticsearch service. Moloch, Suricata, and Zeek are all leveraging Elasticsearch for storing the logs and data associated with those applications. Instead of creating a standalone Elasticsearch server, we use the AWS service to make this as easy as possible to use. Finally, you can see the VPC that was automatically created, the Nubeva Cloud tools, as well as all the traffic mirroring targets that have been created, which are all pointing to the load balancers I discussed before. The last thing you're going to need to do is make sure that your mirrored traffic can get to your tools. As we've showed you, the traffic mirror targets have already been built. Simply create any number of mirror sessions from your sources and point them at these tools. You could also use Nubeva prisms if you'd prefer to send that traffic to tools as well. If you want to use Nubeva prisms, simply configure the destination to be the DNS name of the load balancer. And then, again, the tools can scale independently of all the traffic that they're receiving. That's it. You've successfully installed the CloudFormation template and are ready to get started. Thanks.